Well, we had our first match that didn't have 3 goals in it, as Euro 2024 delivered some entertaining matches once again, proving that the goals don't always ensure maximum entertainment. That Denmark-Slovenia match was nice. Hello, I'm Adrian, and welcome back to everyone who joined us for Rabona TV's Euro Daily yesterday, and just a standard welcome to any newbies to the series. Very new series as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's just dive into this. We're going in the order of events today, order of matches rather than order of the groups, as Group D got us started on Sunday with the early kickoff, 9 a.m. for me, 1500 hours local time. Poland taking on the Netherlands, and it was a Poland who had to go without Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski is still suffering from a tear in the bicep femoris that he got in a friendly match prior to the tournament, and it was touch and go. Initially, he was ruled out for the opener completely, but he made the bench at least. So instead of Bobek, Adam Buksa, the 6'4" giant that plays for Antalyaspor, started as the striker. And the coach of Poland, Michael Probiers, more like Mikey Prohibition with the way he was dressed for this match. Whew, looking like a Al Capone henchman. Anyway, I like the Netherlands starting 11, quality and experience all over the park. And you, of course, had national team Gakpo starting up front on the left alongside Depay and Xavi Simons. He was playing on the right. Where a lot of the industry in the attack came from for the Netherlands, however, was Reinders, the AC Milan midfielder. He was a joy to watch in this match. Some moments where he was eager to let fly from distance when perhaps he should have instead looked to his own fantastic ability when it comes to distribution. But hey, can't be perfect, right? He was running with the ball at pace, beating players on the dribble, playing great switches and through balls, combining well with the Dutch attackers. I thought he was fantastic in this match. And despite all of that, the Dutch were wasteful and the Poles actually opened the scoring. And as expected, their goals would either come from the counter or a set piece, right? Well, it was the latter, with the big tall Buksha beating his man Van Dijk and heading past Bart Verbruggen, the 21-year-old Brighton goalkeeper, to give Poland the lead. Double check that he beat Van Dijk. Despite the goal, it was largely one-way traffic in the Dutch direction, or I guess in the Polish goals direction via the Dutch. Gakpo and Reinders were the main protagonists for the Dutch when it came to sparking the attack, but they were very wasteful with their opportunities when they got them, and their opener finally came from a failed clearance / switch from Zalewski that Nathan Ake picked up and drove forward with, and with it coming to Gakpo, he stepped inside and hit a well-struck ball towards goal, but it was deflected and beat Szczesny because of that deflection. Nothing he could have done there. Ake nearly set up another goal shortly after that, but again, the Dutch were a little too wasteful with their finishing. They were lacking a cutting edge in front of goal. It wasn't even that they were over troubling Szczesny. He only had to make 2 saves in the first half from 14 attempts. So it was their own finishing that was letting them down. Maybe it was Xerxes time in the second half, since he got a late call up at the end of last week to replace De Jong. Maybe good old Wout Weghorst, maybe he was needed in this one. Well, in the second half, Poland came out of their shells a little bit and were actually troubling the Netherlands back line a little more. After having just 2 shots on target in the first half, they matched those numbers and total attempts in the first 10 minutes of the second half, forcing 2 saves out of Verbruggen in quick succession. Verbruggen had a great match for Netherlands in goal. The Netherlands did look a little more dangerous when Daniel Malen was brought on for Simons. Malen was so strong on the ball and able to spin away from the Polish defenders while maintaining possession. He was very impressive, I found. Now, Frimpong also came on a little later. Frimpong from Leverkusen, of course. A little later than I would have liked to have seen, but it was the other fullback once again, Ake, man of the match, who was behind the Netherlands' go-ahead goal in the 83rd minute. He drove forward, then played a diagonal, low-driven ball into the box that Weghorst just had to guide in, given the pace of the pass. But he put a little extra into it, didn't he? Well struck by Weghorst, doing in 2 minutes what Depay failed to do in 81 minutes. Get an attempt on target. Happy for big man Veggie. And again, Verbruggen was called upon to make a big save to maintain the Dutch lead in this match. He had quite the match in goal. Had to stop a few long-distance strikes in stoppage time as well. At least in him, the Dutch knew they have a strong option, someone who can keep them in matches if they continue to struggle for goals. The Dutch hold on 2-1 win where they would have been disappointed with their lack of efficiency in the attack. But these are things that you can always improve upon. At least the chances are there, right? So some work to do, but with 3rd place still possible, Poland will look to be getting a positive result against Austria, which will be tough, and hope not to lose against France. Very tough for Mikey Prohibition and the boys. For the Netherlands, perhaps Memphis will be benched or Xavi in the next match to make room for big man Weghorst, but I loved what I saw from Reinders and Ake. They were playing exceptionally well. However, poor performance from Koeman on the sidelines, getting caught in 4K, munching on his own boogers. He has taken the mantle from Jogi Löw when it comes to dodgy finger-to-face work on the sidelines. Sorry, but if I had to see it, you have to see it too. This is the Euro recap after all. You want to see it all, right? And yeah, no point in looking at the standings at this point in Group D, so let's move on to Group C. Denmark versus Slovenia, two teams I was very interested in seeing actually, especially Denmark, because as I said in the preview for this tournament, I just have a soft spot for these guys. I find them incredibly enjoyable to watch. They are fluid when they are in form. 2022 World Cup was pretty crap, but they started well against Slovenia in this tournament. Slovenia also getting a soft spot for them. However, Slovenia boasts Benjamin Sesko, someone who is scaring opposing defenders and is seen as the big hope for Slovenia's tournament. The man nearly opened the scoring about 15 minutes in when his strong strike just sailed past the post. He wallops that ball, doesn't he? But as these things tend to go in football, and I guess as a testament to the open nature of this match as well, Denmark went in the other direction following that Seško chance and managed to score. A ball inside that Eriksen chested down, then hit with his second touch, a deft touch to the corner of the net to give Denmark the lead and beat Oblak. Honestly, the narrative writes itself for this goal, doesn't it? He was the man that we almost lost in Denmark's first match of Euro 2020 in Copenhagen against Finland. Now he's opened the scoring for them in their first match of Euro 2024. He's been in decent form as well in spite of his United fortunes this past season, as he scored in a friendly against Sweden just 10 days ago also. Slovenia were very much in the game though. It was super balanced, and again, an open match, as most of the matches at this tournament have been. In fact, Slovenia were finding a lot of joy attacking down their right, as there was definitely space from Christensen roaming forward and Jannik Vestergaard struggling with the pace of Sporar and Stojanovic. A few times the Danish back three was a little bit disjointed, sometimes too narrow, other times a few too many gaps, and outpaced, as Vestergaard often was. But as the first half rolled on, Denmark got more and more comfortable, and Eriksen's influence on this game grew. He was popping up all over the place, playing dangerous balls, combining with the wide players, and generally just looking menacing out there. He was excellent. One of the best performances from him that I've seen in some time. And that continued in the second half, as Eriksen was absolutely the man of the match in this game, though Slovenia weren't without their dangerous moments as well, peppered in there every once in a while. Bijol nearly got his knee to a dangerous ball from a set piece, and as the match went on, Slovenia got closer and closer, with a great save from Jan Oblak on Rasmus Højlund peppered in there as well. We got a little bit of pepper here and there. You had Sporar again being wasteful, this time putting it wide from 6 yards from a free kick. Questions as to whether it would have stood, but still, more wasteful finishing from him in this match. He was very frustrating to watch out there. Then you had Seško going close once again as he hit an absolute rocket that swerved off of the inside of the post, but from the ensuing corner, it finally happened. The ball came out to Janza, and his deflected strike finally found the back of the net. Slovenia absolutely deserved that, if anything, for having to put up with Sporar and his inability to find the net all match. He had another miss in the 81st minute that he was lucky Schmeichel got a piece of, a tiny piece of. Otherwise, it would have been chalked up as another miss on his record. And then another one later on. Tough to watch out there. The man was struggling. Anyway, this match ended 1-1, but an incredibly entertaining 1-1. In fact, it was the first match of this tournament to not have at least 3 goals in it, as I said in the intro. What a tournament. Would England and Serbia be able to deliver? Serbia and England, the big question was whether Palmer from Cole Palmer FC would get a start or not, and he did not start this match for England. Also, as expected, Trent Alexander-Arnold started alongside Declan Rice in the midfield. Still a very, very strong lineup for England, and the same could be said of Serbia, with the only notable player starting on the bench perhaps being Dusan Tadic, their captain. Now, England didn't take long to settle into this, as they looked good early doors. We barely saw anything of Serbia, really, and as expected, who else but Jude Bellingham who would open the scoring. Nice ball played through for Saka to run onto, and his deflected cross was powered home by Bellingham. Great aerial from him, and England were cruising. He powered through that ball. And I gotta say, just going off of that some more, Bellingham's header was brave. great sense to attack the six like that. Yes, the deflection was fortunate for Saka as it caused it to loop perfectly into Bellingham's path, but Bellingham's part of it all was quite brave and well executed. Heading through the ball like that with the defender coming for you as well isn't a comfortable situation. The biggest bit of danger for England in the first 20 minutes was when they coughed up possession close to their own box and Mitrovic, Saudi Arabia Mitro, hammered a low strike just wide of the post. England continued to cause some problems down the right flank via Alexander-Arnold and Saka. Even Walker was played through and nearly scored, but was caught between hitting a strike at goal and squaring it to his teammates. Whenever that happens, you usually get neither. Anyway, England were quite dominant in the first half. There was a lot of moments where Serbia looked to attack, but their final ball failed them. I can think of a couple of moments from Vlahovic in particular, but the second half, they were way better. It was a complete swapping of fortunes as suddenly England were on the back foot and feeling threatened, only finding joy by hitting Serbia in transition. And even then, they didn't really trouble Rajkovic that much. Serbia, on the other hand, thought they had a penalty when an attack led to Mitrovic nearly getting a touch on the ball past Pickford, but it ended with Mark Gahey awkwardly trying to shield the ball under himself so Pickford could grab it. After review, the officials got it right. No penalty, just a very awkward play all around. And again, Serbia started whipping balls into the box, trying to take advantage of their height advantage. Tallest team in the tournament, and why not whip it in there and cause some issues, right? Give it a shot. As the half went on, England found themselves a bit. Maybe the changes such as bringing on Bowen for Saka brought about the bravery again. Bowen putting a nice cross into the back post and Kane's header rattled the crossbar. Where the game was previously seeing one team dominate at a time, it became open with them trading blows. Instead, after Kane's effort, you had Vlahovic forcing a big save out of Pickford, then Milinkovic-Savic hitting a strike toward goal that Kane had to clear. What was funny about this match was that as it went on, England's midfield dissolved, it disappeared, completely bypassed by Serbia and England most of the time. No control in the middle for England. And then Southgate takes off Bellingham for Mainu and brought on Gallagher for Alexander-Arnold earlier. And Gallagher's a great presser, yes, but I would rather have Mainu, Rice, and Bellingham in the midfield together. Also, Foden completely wasted, way out on the left flank. May as well have brought on Gordon or even Ize, who is more of a left-sided attacking midfielder. He can play as a central attacking midfielder or as a left winger. But all of that aside, maybe Southgate will make some changes in the next one. Serbia pushed and pushed, but couldn't find a way past Pickford. Really strong second half, really entertaining from both sides, and England win 1-0. Bellingham with the winner, opening goal of England's tournament, just as he did at the 2022 World Cup. So England topped the group ahead of Denmark and Slovenia, and England will play Denmark next, while Slovenia will take on Serbia. Should be evenly matched matches across the board. All right, guys, there's day 2 done for you. Tomorrow we get to see France in action for the first time, as well as Belgium and a host of other nations. Thanks once again for watching and for all of the support on the first video. Happy to see some new names in the comment section as well. I'm Adrian, and I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the football.